We help parents raise their kids to be Christ followers. I'm Pastor Dwayne, and today's topic is training for first-time obedience. For the last couple of tips, we've been discussing training. It's the second step in the family vision process. Before you train, you should live the values that you want to share with your children. So live the value comes first. Then you should train the value, which is the focus of our current series, and finally, you discipline the value. All of this is based on Scripture. The Scripture that commands us to train is Proverbs 22:6. It says to train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he won't depart from it. In the last tip, we saw the command to children in the New Testament is to obey, which comes from the Greek word that describes the role of a gatekeeper. The gatekeeper was supposed to always be paying attention. It's one of the first intentional things to live, train, and discipline in your parenting. Another important thing that you should train is first-time obedience. Although there is no direct command from Scripture that tells us to obey the first time, there are a lot of Scriptures that tell us the consequences of those who did not obey the first time. Those include men like Saul, David, Jonah, the list goes on and on. On the other side of the issue, you see men like Jesus' earthly father, Joseph, who immediately obeyed every time he was commanded to do something. It was this guy that God chose to train his son. Another important example is Jesus himself. Jesus always obeyed, and he did so the very first time. We want the same for our kids. We want them to listen, respond, and obey. That's the process for children in Family Vision. Doing this the first time means that when they are adults, they can obey God the first time He speaks to their heart. But there's also a very practical reason to train your child to obey the first time. Go back to the example we used in the last tip. You are walking out of the grocery store, and your precious toddler's hand slips out of yours and she starts running toward the street. Do you want her to obey the first time, or do you want to train her to obey once you've counted to 3? Finally, when a child obeys the first time, it relieves some stress in your home. It reduces your stress and the stress your child experiences. That's good for everyone in the family. How do you train a child to obey the first time? That's a good question, and we're here for it. In the study Family Vision, we go into great detail on this, and you can see it in action in your Family Vision group. We look forward to you joining us there. God uses your desire to raise your kid right to get to your heart. Thanks for listening to me. Now, take a moment and let Him speak to you.